Picture this. A land where women possess a grace so captivating that ancient kingdoms fought wars just to establish marriage alliances. Where female beauty is considered a national treasure as valuable as the snow-capped peaks themselves. In Bhutan, the women carry an elegance that comes from centuries of high-altitude living, creating features so striking that travelers often describe their first encounter as unforgettable. Their traditional kiras, hand-woven garments that shimmer with intricate patterns, frame faces that blend Tibetan, Indian, and Southeast Asian characteristics into something entirely unique. But this is just the beginning of what makes this mysterious Himalayan kingdom absolutely extraordinary. The last Shangri-La on Earth. Bhutan exists where most countries wouldn't dare. Wedged between two giants, China to the north and India to the south, this tiny nation of just 38,394 square kilometers has managed something impossible, maintaining complete independence and cultural purity for over 1,000 years. The average elevation sits at 3,280 meters above sea level, making it one of the highest countries on the planet. 24 sacred peaks rise above 7,000 meters, creating natural fortresses that have protected this kingdom from invasion throughout history. When you look at a map, Bhutan appears as a small dragon-shaped territory, and locals believe this is no coincidence. The country's name in the local language, Drukyul, literally means land of the thunder dragon, geography that defies logic. What they never show you in documentaries is how Bhutan's landscape changes so dramatically that you can experience 4 different climate zones in a single day's drive. The southern border with India features subtropical forests teeming with elephants, tigers, and rhinoceros. Within hours of driving north, you're in alpine meadows where blue poppies bloom at altitudes where most plants refuse to grow. Then come the glacial zones where over 700 glaciers feed the country's river systems. Here's what's truly mind-blowing. 72% of Bhutan is covered in forest, making it the only carbon-negative country in the world. While every other nation pumps carbon into the atmosphere, Bhutan absorbs more than it produces. The constitution actually mandates that 60% of the land must remain forested forever. Borders that tell 1,000 stories. The northern border with Tibet remains one of the most mysterious and heavily protected boundaries on Earth. China claims parts of this territory, but Bhutan has never backed down. No diplomatic relations exist between the two countries, and the border areas are strictly off-limits to tourists. Ancient trade routes once connected Bhutanese valleys to Tibetan monasteries, routes where merchants transported salt, wool, and precious stones. Today, these paths are guarded by both military forces and the sheer impossibility of the terrain. The southern border with India is completely different, open and friendly, with 4 official crossing points where trade flows freely. Indian rupees are accepted everywhere in Bhutan, and thousands of Indians work in Bhutanese cities. Cities that exist in different centuries. Thimphu, the capital, holds a distinction that shocks every visitor. It's the only capital city in the world without a single traffic light. In the 1990s, authorities installed 1 traffic light at the main intersection. Citizens protested so vigorously that it was removed within days. They found it impersonal and preferred the elegance of white-gloved traffic police performing choreographed hand signals. The city sits in a valley at 2,334 meters, surrounded by blue pine forests and crowned by the massive Tashicho Dzong Fortress Monastery. Paro, the gateway city where the international airport is located, features traditional architecture so strictly enforced that even gas stations and banks must incorporate hand-painted Buddhist motifs and traditional wooden designs. The airport that pilots fear. Paro International Airport has earned a reputation that makes experienced pilots nervous. Only 17 pilots in the entire world are certified to land there. The approach requires navigating through a narrow valley, making multiple sharp turns between mountains, with the runway appearing only at the last possible second. Planes can only land during daylight hours in perfect visual conditions. One miscalculation means disaster. Yet this terrifying approach provides passengers with views so spectacular that people actually request window seats despite their fear. As the plane descends, you'll see ancient monasteries clinging to cliff faces, prayer flags streaming across valleys, and terraced rice fields that look like green staircases climbing toward the clouds. Traditions that challenge modern understanding. Now here's what connects directly to that provocative title. Bhutan practices a form of Buddhism that incorporates pre-Buddhist shamanic traditions, creating spiritual practices that would shock conservative religious observers anywhere else. Phallus symbols are painted on houses, carved into doorways, and displayed prominently throughout the countryside. Far from being sinful, these are considered sacred symbols of fertility and protection against evil spirits. The Divine Madman, a 15th century monk named Drukpakunli, traveled the country teaching Buddhism through outrageous behavior that included drinking, womanizing, and using shocking language. He's now one of Bhutan's most revered saints. This same country measures success not through GDP but through gross national happiness, a concept that prioritizes psychological well-being, cultural preservation, environmental conservation, and good governance over pure economic growth. Festivals where reality dissolves. The Chechu festivals transform entire valleys into explosions of color, music, and spiritual ecstasy. Monks wearing elaborate masks perform cham dances that reenact Buddhist teachings and historical events. These aren't performances. They're considered actual spiritual practices where dancers become the deities they represent. The Paro Chechu culminates in the unfurling of a massive thanka, a religious scroll painting so large it covers the side of a 3-story building. Thousands gather before dawn to receive its blessing, believing that simply seeing this sacred image cleanses lifetimes of negative karma. Women who break every stereotype. Bhutanese women possess a social status that would surprise anyone expecting typical Asian gender dynamics. They inherit property, own businesses, and until recently, practice polyandry, where one woman married multiple brothers to keep family land unified. In traditional farmhouses, women make all household decisions while men handle external affairs. Visit any market in Thimphu, and you'll find women dominating the commerce, negotiating with fierce intelligence and unshakable confidence. They wear the traditional kira with such style that fashion designers from around the world come to study the weaving techniques and color combinations. Many foreigners visit Bhutan specifically because of stories about the women's legendary grace, their high cheekbones accentuated by the mountain air, their strength developed from lives lived at extreme altitudes, economic mysteries, and sacred contradictions. Bhutan charges tourists a minimum daily fee of approximately $200 or 185 euros, one of the highest tourism costs on Earth. This isn't just profit-seeking. It's deliberate policy to prevent mass tourism from destroying the culture. Only a limited number of tourists can visit annually, making Bhutan more exclusive than almost anywhere else. Yet, for citizens, healthcare and education are completely free. The average income hovers around $3,400 or 3,150 euros annually, but happiness indices consistently rank Bhutan among the top nations globally. No advertising exists. Tobacco is banned. Plastic bags are illegal. The country didn't have television until 1999, yet now boasts one of the fastest-growing tech sectors in South Asia. Monasteries that defy physics. The Tiger's Nest Monastery, Taksang Palphug, clings to a cliff face 900 meters above the Paro Valley. Legend says Guru Rinpoche, who brought Buddhism to Bhutan in the 8th century, flew there on the back of a pregnant tigress. The monastery was built around the cave where he meditated for 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, and 3 hours. The hike to reach it takes 3 to 4 hours of steep climbing through pine forests, but the view from the top makes grown adults weep. Inside, monks maintain meditation practices that have continued unbroken for over 1,200 years. Final thoughts from the Thunder Dragon. We've traveled through this remarkable kingdom, from its impossible geography to its fascinating traditions, from its stunning women to its sacred monasteries. We've discovered why this country refuses to follow global norms, measuring success by happiness rather than wealth, valuing spiritual richness over material gain. Now we want to hear from you. Drop a comment telling us which city or country you're watching from. What amazed you most about Bhutan? Hit that hype button right now and smash the like button because it helps us bring you more incredible content, and it costs you absolutely nothing. We're grateful for every single one of you. Click one of the suggested videos on your screen right now and discover curiosities about places you never knew existed. Until next time, keep exploring the extraordinary.